I can hit the ball, which is amazing, further now than I did when I was younger, just because of technology, even though I've lost speed. I have maximized my swing to hit the ball as far as I do. I feel comfortable carrying about 290. On a good day, I may step up to 300. That's good for me.
In order to compete with the guys on tour today, you have to carry the ball a good amount, otherwise you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage against the field. But the reality is Tiger isn't really setting his game up for distance. He could still be one of the top 5 longest players in the game. I believe that if he wanted to. Does it make a lot of sense? Is it the right thing to do at 44? And is it necessary to win championships? And I think he's realized that isn't the case.
If I'm able to hit 1 perfect shot per tournament, it would be great. If I happen to hit 2 per tournament, it's usually when I've won by big margins. This is the game of misses. We all know that out here, everyone's good is good, but how good is your bad? That's the difference.
What makes you pick a draw on certain holes?
I'll hit a draw because it goes a little bit further. It depends on the day because it's so spine related. If my spine feels really loose, hitting a draw is really comfortable and really easy for me to do. But if it's not, then I have a hard time turning back to get deep enough to hit a draw. And so I'll end up invariably hitting straight balls to low little BB cuts out there. That's been one of the more frustrating things. I see a shot, but I'm like, okay, this is the new world. This is how we're operating now. Yeah. Let's just play my simple little shot, get it in play. And then if we get conditions where it feels good, like I happen to get warm conditions at Augusta. Last year, I was ripping the draw. And there are certain conditions when it gets a little cooler and tighter, and then I'll start hitting little cuts out there. When I think about shaping a shot, I don't ask Joey his feel on this shot. It's my call. I just want numbers out there. Like here, there's a short run-out number on the right-hand side. It's like 270 yards. I know I have to be inside that. That's something I'll discuss. And can I carry that bunker on the left? Can I just take it out of play? And generally, Joey will say no, you can't carry it that far. And so that's one of the things that I've had to make the adjustment is that I don't carry that ball the max number like the guys on tour, do. A good drive for me, 300 yards in the air is a really good drive. I know some of the guys now are carrying at 320 and 330. So they can take that bunker literally out of play, but I can't. So that's fine. That's just what I have to go with. Put it on the right-hand side, turn it over a little bit, get it down there so I have an iron in the green, and off I go. A high draw for me, that involves teeing the ball up a little bit higher. I use short tees, like the old school tees I grew up with. I haven't changed to long tees. So for me, a perfect tee height would be just putting it into the ground. That to me is a high tee. I know that a lot of guys tee a lot higher than that, but to me that seems really high. I feel like I can get underneath that golf ball. When I'm gonna hit a cut, I'll tee it down, so I can hit down on it and squeeze it out there. When I draw the ball, as I build a stance, one of the tells that I could always know when Ben Hogan would hit a draw or cut is he'd build a stance and he'd drop it back further for a draw. He'd drop it back just a little bit for a cut. And as I've come back and have started to not have the mobility that I have, one of the things I've done as an adjustment for draws, I'll drop that foot back a little further than I used to help me get more turn. And that allows me to get more of the inside part of the ball and shape it from right to left. To keep the ball in the air with a draw, it helps to have more speed. Cutting it's pretty easy, you don't have to have a whole lot of speed to cut it. But to keep a draw in the air, because it has less spin, helps to have more speed, for sure.
Explain why a draw usually goes further than a fade.
Well, the draw will go further inevitably because it doesn't have as much spin. It's usually tumbling. For me, I can carry my draw further because when I'm teeing it a little higher for me, and I'm sending it out to right, I'm swinging more in to out and also more up on it. But my cut's been good to me. And so I've tend to favor that shot, but if I need to get one and get it out there, then I'll definitely draw it. All right, so I'm gonna turn this ball over. I feel comfortable setting up on the kind of left middle of the tee box. So I get that angle to start over a little more on the right-hand side. Teed up a little bit for me. So I'm seeing a little draw off that tree, kind of right middle of the fairway. Pick my line there, get committed to it. Build my stance. Drop that foot back. Hit a nice little draw. That's satisfaction because now I've left myself the ideal situation going to the next shot.
How much is speed a factor in trying to hit a driver high and out there?
Well, can't bomb it if you don't have speed. Okay, let's start with that. There are no high bombs if you don't have speed. You can tee it up high and hit it high, but it's not bombed. If I can take that bunker out of play on the left and basically hit a high bomb off over that bunker, then I'll do it. But when I generally hit that ball high like that, I don't normally draw it. I try to hit the ball as straight as I can. Drawing it for me, it tends to fall out of the sky a little bit. A straighter ball goes a little bit further. If I cut it, it doesn't go as far, so I try to hit the ball dead straight. It's one of the hardest shots to hit, but that's my feel, and that's what I'm seeing in my head, is trying to hit that ball absolutely dead straight. You know, this is like a standard tee now. If I were to put it just in the ground, I mean, that's so much higher than mine. And then they have extra long tees. And guys teed up that high. I don't hover the club. So to me, when I get it up here to the high tee like that, I mean, that's an uncomfortable feeling for me, just because I don't hover the club. I don't pick it up and hover it where I take it up to that ball level. I'm still on the ground. I'm tapping it and then going from the ground level. So to me, this seems really high. And I don't do it very often. As I said, once every 2 tournaments or so that I'll bring it out. But yeah, that's just really daunting, putting it up that high. One of the things that for me when I was younger, as I would pump the system and really push off, I had a tendency of leaving my arms behind me and spinning out of my hips so fast I left my arms behind me to hit that higher ball then, because the driver heads were so much smaller. You didn't have to tee it up as high. But try and really be patient in transition, so that as I explode, that the arms come with me instead of trailing behind me. Just being really patient in transition, even though I'm pumping the system harder, still being patient in that transition time. I'm gonna take it a little bit more left here. Got that stand of trees on the left, through the fairway, the right edge of the bunker basically. Teed the ball up, so I'm gonna let this one go. I'm gonna move that ball just a little bit further forward in my stance. I'll catch it a little more on the upswing. And try and hit this ball dead straight. But I really try and feel like I really use this back leg to really push and start clearing and start jumping and getting out of the way. That's how I try and feel it. The reason why I don't do it that often is it puts a little stress on my back and puts stress on my knee, and I've had multiple operations on them, so I bring that every now and again. But I know I have it in there if I need to do it. Go to this tee, tee it up a little higher, move it forward, pump on that right leg, and go and hit it. I should do that all the time.
What's one thing that you would tell average golfers that they can do to help maximize their distance?
One, I think loft is your friend. You know, I think that most amateur golfers don't have enough loft on their driver. Having enough loft on the driver allows a player to have more control. Most amateur golfers like seeing that 8.5 on there or 9.5 and feel like, you know, that's going to make me hit it further because it's a lower loft, but not necessarily. You got to have the right launch conditions, and I think that that's where the new modern era is, that we have so much technology that allows us to maximize what we do. Get your driver set up and go on the golf course and, oh, ooh, I just picked up a little distance.
Yeah.
Those are great feelings.
Everyone loves that
Yes,
feeling.
absolutely.